Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast. Movie Film Podcast, enjoy the show. Zachy and Brian are talking about movies. Movie Film Podcast on the radio.
Welcome to Movie Film. This is episode 132, brought to you by Mr. Boy Productions. My name is Zachy Hassan, and I am joined, as always, by my co-pilot, my co-conspirator, my cokehead, Brian Hall.
Hey, what's going on, Coke buddy?
We're recording so late. We need to coke up.
Yeah.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. We've been busy.
It has been a minute, as the young people say.
I gotta admit, the past several weeks, we have been very, very crammed schedule-wise, but we do it for the love of the game.
It's true.
So
I was getting all fidgety. I was getting all antsy.
Yeah.
I had all these weird twitches because we weren't able to podcast.
I know, and it's funny because I'm fairly busy at the moment, and I will be busy tomorrow. But you reached out about doing this, and I was like, I got to make time. Like this, this is a joy. This is something I enjoy doing. So you got to make time for this.
Cut to 90 minutes from now. It's like, F you! No F you!
This is the final episode. And it begins with this. Yeah, no, I was gonna say, it begins with a little sort of thing we have to tag. It's like, we're tagging this on afterwards. What you're going to hear now is recorded after the fact. Zachy and I are not on speaking terms anymore, but we cut it together for posterity.
For posterity. So what have you been up to, though? You have been busy, busier than usual, and you are usually busy.
Yeah, and it's funny, because I feel like the past several episodes also I've been like, I'm so busy I haven't had time to watch anything, but weirdly enough, I have watched a few things I can bring up.
I'm glad, because I have not, so...
Okay, well, I had a friend visiting in town, and I wasn't going to speak about this a whole lot, but we went to this David Lynch Festival of Disruption thing that was going on in downtown Los Angeles, which was kind of cool. They showed a few movies. They showed a documentary called Los Angeles Plays Itself, which is made and narrated by a disaffected Angelino, basically, who tracks the history of Los Angeles through the beginning of filmmaking, basically. And he shows how certain neighborhoods start as affluent in certain movies very early in Los Angeles history, and then throughout the years, they eventually become, where the bad guys hang out. And he just it's like a Los Angeles history lesson through movies.
Gotcha.
And it was interesting and long. Very long. But
interesting.
Yeah. And then, of course, they showed Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. And then David Lynch came out, and Cheryl Lee, who plays Laura Palmer, came out, and David Lynch came out, and he was very interesting.
Did the crowd go nuts when Lynch came out, I'm assuming?
Oh, man. He was hilarious. Yeah, he has.
Hi, everybody.
Yes, that's exactly. I was just gonna say. Yeah, he comes out. He's like, "Hi, everybody. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming out. It's so nice to be amongst fans and to celebrate cinema." He told, and I literally, actually, I was telling coworkers this. I literally was talking like him for days, just because his voice is so much fun.
It's addictive.
It's very addictive. It's like, what should I have tonight? Possibly pizza. Those sorts of things. But
and you have to figure, right? if you're at like a David Lynch festival, you're not there by accident.
No.
The people who are there are on a mission.
We're all in.
Yeah.
Yes. There was. He's got his own signature. It's funny. I wasn't planning on talking about this at all, but he's got his own signature coffee. And they sold that there, and it is really good, I gotta say. I actually was going to buy some on the way out. It was the only thing I was going to buy, and they were all sold out. I was like, you kidding me? And then they had, from the Twin Peaks Return series, there are these 3 Vegas showgirl characters called the Candy Girls, and they were there for the Q&A. It was hysterical, because they sort of seem like they're on another planet, like they're always looking around at other things and getting distracted by flies in the room and stuff like that. So they were in the audience with the microphones for people asking questions, and so they were sort of wandering around, and someone would be like, trying to get the microphone so he could ask the question, and then David Lynch would be like, Candy, could you hand the microphone to the young man? And and then one guy was he's like, it's been kind of a rough year. And then the girl just like started hugging him, like while he was asking the question. It was very Lynchian, the whole affair. But then there was also all this music. It turned into 2 nights of music at the very end, because it was an all day thing from 10 in the morning till 11:30 at night. And at night there was like Reggie Watts, this band called The Kills, who were great. Bon Iver, not Bon Iver, I learned. And all these.
That's good to know. No.
Yeah, a lot of TV on the radio, a lot of interesting bands. So it was really cool, but it was very consuming for that weekend, and I went straight into work. And then this past weekend, now you're delving into Brian's life. I went to Utah for a whirlwind trip to Mount Zion, where I was hiking all weekend and like literally just got back. So.
Do you go to Mount Zion to fight off the machines?
Okay. So I kept saying to my friends, it was like, okay, we're going to Zion. And I'm like, is it really Zion? Or is it Zion? Am I saying it because of Agent Smith and The Matrix? I can't tell. So I really don't know anymore. But, what is reality anyway? But
this is true.
I couldn't remember. So we haven't talked in a long time. We actually did a sort of offshoot episode just to talk about the Last Jedi trailer.
That's right.
So I'll just mention a few movies real fast that I saw that I don't believe we've covered. You saw American Made, and I finally saw American Made, so I was going to bring that up. The Doug Liman, Tom Cruise drug running movie, based on a true story, which I did not realize was actually tied to Pablo Escobar.
I think I mentioned that when I talked to you.
Yeah. I mean, just coming from the trailers when I had seen it beforehand. Like, I thought it was some sort of early 80s drug running movie, but I didn't realize. Or I guess what I mean is this character has... he's literally been portrayed on Narcos.
That's it's like there's like a Venn diagram where this overlaps with Narcos.
Yes. And it's interesting. When we walked out, my brother said it was Catch Me If You Can meets Narcos. And that is literally what it is,
that's very apt.
Which makes it a very enjoyable watch, but also probably not a very responsible history lesson. I think
very much so,
they're trying to have a lot of fun, and this guy was not a fun person in real life. I think.
And again, I said this before. He looked basically nothing like Tom Cruise.
No. And in the movie, there's this whole family dynamic, and ends up he had 3 wives during this time, and just I don't think anything in this movie is accurate except for some of the backbone of the things that happened. On the other hand, though, it is a fun romp, and it's fun seeing Tom Cruise play the haggard Tom Cruise kind of character. He's like smirking, but he's also flying by the seat of his pants kind of character thing. And then this is super random, but I was listening to this podcast. I believe it's called, I should give him a shout out, like We Are Not Young Anymore. And it's a guy, Chris Eggertson, that I used to work with. He started this podcast, and they visit movies that they loved when they were younger and try to see if nostalgia made them think that they loved it, or if it, does it hold up, or did nostalgia make them think?
That's a great idea for a podcast.
I've really enjoyed it, and I totally recommend it. And they did Death Becomes Her, and I was thinking, oh, wow. That's a movie where if you asked anyone in the 90s if they knew what Death Becomes Her was, they'd be like, yeah, of course. But now, I mean, who knows that movie anymore, right?
That's true.
Which is kind of weird, especially, from Robert Zemeckis. And so it was literally, after they said it was on cable, and I was like, all right, I got to check this out. So I DVR'd it and watched it. And it's an interesting movie. I mean, do you remember it very well?
I mean, vaguely.
It's basically an extended Tales from the Crypt episode. And
yes,
right,
that's right.
Because it feels like it could have been half the length. Because I was surprised how long it took. Well, the whole thing is it's these 2 aging friends. One of them's an actress, and one of them, I believe, is a writer. And so they have this rivalry with each other between this one man in particular, played by Bruce Willis, and Meryl Streep is obsessed with not aging, so she takes this potion so she won't age ever again. She's immortal now. It makes her body look younger, and she will never die. And then you come to find out that Goldie Hawn also took this potion, and she will never die. And then the selling point of the movie is that they're hitting each other with shovels and twisting each other's heads around and shooting holes in each other. And that doesn't really kick in till the last 40 minutes of the movie, which I did not remember. And that does start to feel like them just kind of showing off, like kind of what they can do.
Look at all the effects.
Yeah, and I didn't not enjoy it, but it does feel very, very slight as a movie itself. I I don't know. It was just kind of an interesting artifact, I think, especially because it's this really, really dark comedy and that I can't imagine coming out right now.
I remember it being pretty hyped when it came out, but I haven't thought about it in 25 years.
Yeah. So it was kind of an interesting rewatch where when it was over, I did enjoy. I think it was a kind of nostalgic. I enjoyed reliving it because I remembered it, and I enjoy Robert Zemeckis, and I enjoy Alan Silvestri. His score is really great. Kind of got the Bernard Herrmann thing going on. But yeah, I don't know that it holds up per se as a film. It feels a little hollow, but it's a fun special effects movie, I guess. But speaking of, with Robert Zemeckis, tangentially, who is tied often with Steven Spielberg, we both watched the HBO Spielberg documentary, which I don't think we've talked about.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
Man, I really enjoyed it. So this is like 2.5 hour documentary. It's a deep dive into Spielberg's filmography. It's a hagiography. Pretty much skips right over any of the rough patches in his career.
Wait, what's that term?
Hagiography.
I don't know that. What does that mean?
It lionizes him.
Okay, and that is true. I mean, they really skirt over 1941.
Yeah, and I would say that 1941 is the extent of the flops in his career. They at least addressed 1941.
That's a good point. They don't even talk about Always, do they? I didn't even think of that.
They don't mention Always or Hook or the BFG.
Oh, that's a good point, too. I think Hook gets a very...
There's like a shot from Hook.
Yes, like a little shot at the end that I noticed for that reason.
Exactly.
Where they were like, just throw it in at the end.
Yeah, it was a lionization of Spielberg, which I'm totally fine with, by the way, because I lionize Spielberg,
Yeah.
I mean, it was just terrific. I mean, it was aimed at Brian Hall and Zachy Hassan. That's what it felt like.
Absolutely.
So it was really great. I watched it with my oldest, who is like a huge Spielberg fan. He and I are. He's 11 and I'm 38, but we're both these giant Spielberg fans. So we sat and watched the whole thing together, and that was really cool. And it was interesting because it gets to the part about Schindler's List, and he's like, "What's Schindler's List?" And I'm like having to explain the Holocaust to him.
Oh, wow.
And so I end up having this very deep conversation with him about what the Holocaust entails and sort of the role that Oskar Schindler played, and kind of trying to contextualize this horrible human atrocity in a way that's not going to damage an 11-year-old. So I sort of went back to Mr. Rogers' truism, where he said, whenever a tragedy like this happens, always look for the helpers. Mm-hmm. And I said, that's what Oskar Schindler was. He was a helper, And so I ended up showing him some of the movie, not the horrendous, awful stuff, obviously, but like the tail end of Schindler's List when Liam Neeson just breaks down. Yeah. And he's like, this button could have saved 2 people or whatever. I watched some of that with him, and I haven't seen Schindler's List in, since it came out.
Same.
Schindler's List was you watch it once and then you just kind of file it away in your mental Rolodex because you don't ever really forget it.
Yeah, I was surprised how much I remembered from what they showed.
That's exactly right. But so that was great, and I own Schindler's List, luckily, so I was able to show him some of that. But it was very funny because right from Schindler's List, the Schindler's List segment in the film, it goes from there to Jurassic Park, and it's like the first shot from Jurassic Park we get is like the opening scene with Muldoon and the raptor, But it's just you see the tree sort of shaking, like the bushes shaking.
Yeah.
And just that shot, and my kid's like, yes, because he knows.
Right.
So he's like, that's what he's been waiting for, And I realized that, he went and watched Jurassic Park, in the theater when he was like 6, and man, that did it. Like that was the tinderbox for him,
Yeah.
So it's very cool that we share this love of this filmmaker who I think is truly exceptional. I think that I didn't need a 2.5 hour documentary to tell me how impressive he is. But I think my love for his work and my appreciation for him as a person only deepened after watching it.
I think so too, and I think for you and I and people like us, there's very little you can tell us that we don't already know about the man, and not arrogantly. It's just because we are obsessive about it and we read a lot about him and we read his interviews. We're interested in him, and I thought that the documentary did a good job of the things that they reiterated that I already knew. I thought they brought something new to it.
Yes,
and, I mean, we've talked about it a lot on here, where he's a master of camera work and geography visually. And they go so far as not only to mention it, but to illustrate it using the movie Munich, which was really cool.
which
and
is
again,
it doesn't get talked about enough, Munich.
Yeah. I think I've probably said this, but I haven't seen it since the theater, and I would like to revisit it. But something else I also appreciated was they showed a lot of behind the scenes of him actually directing.
Right.
And for someone who doesn't talk about his process very much, it was pretty cool to see him working with actors and talking to Janusz and, just sort of the minutia. That's the stuff we're dying to see, and just getting to see a glimpse of it at all. Because him as a director, I mean, he's mythic.
Yes.
We know very little. We don't see him working very often. That's sort of hidden or something.
Yeah.
And so it was very cool to get little teases of that. Like there's a scene of him directing Henry Thomas in E.T. when he's thinks E.T. is dead, and just seeing him crouched behind the camera, sort of whispering to him and guiding him along was fascinating.
It really was, yeah. And as you said, I would have liked to see more reflections on the stuff that didn't work. I think that would have been just as instructive, but that was not the story that the documentary wanted to tell.
Yeah. And it was already 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, but they could have easily gone another half hour, and I would have been totally fine with it,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Los Angeles Plays itself did not feel the same.
That's hilarious. Another documentary I just saw is on Hulu. It just dropped on Hulu a couple days ago, and it's called Too Funny to Fail. And it is about the Dana Carvey show.
I saw you post about this.
Yeah, this is so interesting because it feels like one of those instances where if you wait long enough, the wheel of history will eventually sort of come around. And the Dana Carvey show, I don't know if you ever watched it. It aired for 7 episodes in 1996, and I watched every one of those episodes. And I loved this show to pieces because it was so out there, and it was so unlike anything that was on TV at the time. Mm-hmm. I didn't know at the time that it starred, Steve Carell and Stephen Colbert. I mean, I knew they were on it, but I didn't know who they were, Mm-hmm. And you realize only later on that they would go on to be, obviously, Stephen Colbert and Steve Carell,
Right.
But not just that, Louis C.K. was the head writer. Robert Smigel was the showrunner. So it was like the petri dish where comedy for the next 20 years was being born, right?
Yeah.
And I remember very distinctly, I would watch it every week. And I remember when it got canceled, I was writing for my high school newspaper at the time, and I would talk to our entertainment editor was Todd Martins, he's now like the music critic for the LA Times. And I remember just like biting his ear off because nobody else would listen. I'd be like, man, this show is so great. I can't believe they canceled it, And so this documentary, again, it's a documentary made for me specifically.
Right.
I got a little notification. Oh, you might be interested in this. I'm like, holy crap. And I'm watching it. And I haven't seen Dana Carvey's show in 21 years, And I was watching it with my wife, and I'm telling her, I'm like, I remember the first sketch was this. And I remember they used to do this. And I'm describing to her, like, everything that was on it, right? So I feel like I've got the bona fides where I'm like, I was there on the ground floor with this thing. Because what happens is, like, a show becomes a cult favorite, and suddenly everyone was there.
Yeah, yes.
Like, oh yeah, I'm legit. I was there for the Ben Stiller show and for the Dana Carvey show, both of which are, Yeah. But it's really great. It's a Hulu documentary, and Hulu puts out some friggin' great documentaries. I got to say, Batman and Bill from earlier this year, that was another great one. And it really it's got interviews with Colbert and Carell and Smigel and obviously Dana Carvey and various other. Louis C.K. actually is not featured in it, but they have some archival footage of him. But it's a really great. It's something I would show in my media classes because it's that that process where the content creators bump up against the content curators,
Right.
On their way to the audience, and I think it's fascinating, like a scrapbook, and you see, Colbert talks about it where he's like, he gets the job and he's like, this is it, like we're going to be doing this now, and then the show ends, it catches everybody by surprise, and Colbert is like, well, I'm never going to work again,
Isn't that crazy?
That was his thought process then, and you realize, well, he replaced David Letterman. Who would have thought that,
Yeah.
And the skits on that show were absolutely hilarious. They were so off the wall. I mean, there was waiters who are nauseated by food.
Yeah, I think you've sent me this.
I may have.
Yeah.
It's just Stephen Colbert and Steve Carell as waiters, and they're reading the menu items and they're suppressing their gag reflex. I mean, it's so out there, right? You wouldn't even see that on Saturday Night Live,
Yeah, yeah.
And the first sketch that ever aired, like the cold open, was Dana Carvey as Bill Clinton, and he's like, I need to get reelected, I need to appeal to women voters, so I've had hormonal treatment, and now I can breastfeed.
Right. That's the only thing I know about the show.
Yeah, and so I described that to my wife. I was like, this was the first sketch. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no. I was like, it's not funny, but it's out there.
Right.
But like in the documentary, they talk about how like ABC had minute-by-minute ratings. So like the lead-in was Home Improvement, and like minute 2, they dropped like 3 million views.
Wow.
Right? And it's so funny because it's like they play, like, basically they keep going to, like, because Home Improvement was like the top show on ABC at the time, but it was like the most incompatible lead-in you could possibly have had.
Oh yeah, I mean,
right?
And it seems kind of ahead of its time too, like this alternative comedy thing. I mean, Ben Stiller was there too, but it wasn't a network.
Adult Swim before Adult Swim,
Yeah.
But it's very funny because they play a promo where it's like a very special episode of Home Improvement. And it's like, Randy thinks he's going to die. And it's like, Dad, I don't want to die. Son, you're not going to die. Like, it's like one of those very special episodes. And then it's like a very special Home Improvement, followed by the Dana Carvey Mountain Dew Show. Or whatever, And what's hilarious is they play that for Carell and Colbert, and they are just cracking up at that. Like, I thought Carell was going to pass out,
Right.
So funny. So you for sure, Brian, you will absolutely like it.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Hey, when you were saying also this and the Batman and Bill thing, it's like, what was that? Superman, the death of Superman.
Tim Burton. The Superman Lives. Yeah,
Superman Lives. It's amazing that these incredibly niche documentaries are being made and finding homes. I mean, I guess that's one of the positive things about so many outlets now with Hulu and Netflix and all that, right?
Yeah, I mean, just look at this, right? A 90-minute thing about the Dana Carvey show that lasted 7 episodes in 1996.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have these people who are huge stars now, Steve Carell. It's a point of interest for a lot of people because they're fans of those people. But otherwise, I mean, we're talking about a show, like you said, that only aired, I mean, we can count on our fingers how many times it aired.
Yeah.
But here we are with a full-length documentary about it, about its place in history. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's cool it exists.
Yeah. So I highly recommend checking that out. Another movie that I saw is The Foreigner.
Oh, okay, yeah. Jackie Chan.
This is the latest entry in the old man action hero genre. right. Jackie Chan's foray into that. And it's directed by Martin Campbell, who directed GoldenEye and Casino Royale. And it stars Pierce Brosnan, actually, speaking of GoldenEye. Pierce Brosnan, who, by the way, has become Sean Connery.
In what way?
He's got, like, the salt and pepper beard, and he's just like the crusty old man now,
Wow.
But the movie itself, it's okay, is what I would say. In Brian Hall terms, it is a TNT weekend afternoon movie.
Okay, I wondered. I mean, the trailer felt a little heavy-handed.
Yeah.
And I wondered if that was just a bad trailer doing what it felt it had to do, or if the movie was just kind of...
Yeah, it stars Jackie Chan as the foreigner of the title. The novel that it's based on is called The Chinaman. So,
well, there we go.
Heads prevail.
Yeah.
And he plays a father whose daughter is killed in an IRA terrorist attack, and he blames Pierce Brosnan, who is he's a politician who used to be with the IRA. Mm-hmm. And so he's trying to find out who did it. And I'm kind of I'm easy. I'm just like, hey, the terrorists aren't Arabs, so thumbs up for me.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, boo, hiss, Irish people. It didn't knock my socks off. I didn't dislike it, but it was just kind of in one eyeball, out the other.
Sure.
It's one of those things. It's almost in one theater, out the other, so it's almost not worth talking about much beyond that.
Well, when you compare it to the old man action thing, I mean, we are huge Liam Neeson's fans.
Yeah.
We like these. The Commuter, I haven't seen the trailer yet, but I'm going. So,
yeah, right.
Where does this sort of fall? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I would put it, somewhere above like that Kevin Costner movie from a couple of years ago.
Right, sure.
Something Kevin Costner, whatever it was called.
yeah, like The Man Who Waits or something. I don't know, who knows? The Waiting Man. Actually, that sounds more like it.
3 Days to Kill. That's okay. Yeah, but if you're home, if you've got Movie Pass.
Ah, damn it, Zachy.
It's a Movie Pass movie. Yeah, Brian, you gotta get the Movie Pass, man.
I wish we've talked about this off air, but I don't have a theater that takes that near me. My main theater doesn't take the Movie Pass thing, which, oh man, if it did, I would absolutely get it.
You'd be there every day.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Movie Pass.
Yeah.
This episode of the Movie Film Podcast brought to you by Movie Pass.
Yeah.
And you know what else I saw? Actually, they just put out the original Superman from 1978
I wanted to hear about this from you.
3-hour extended TV cut.
Yeah, which this is one of those things that you will remember because you're a super fan. Like, ABC one time aired a 3-hour version, blah, blah, blah. And now we're in a day and age where this stuff actually gets put out in high def. That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? So this is fascinating. So apparently the Salkinds who produced the movie made some kind of a deal with ABC who aired it, where essentially they were like paid by the minute or something. So they're like, well, shit, let's just find every scrap of footage that we can and just...
Seriously?
Yeah, it's literally that.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that.
Richard Donner did not sign off on this.
Oh. That is so funny. Yeah.
And so they were able to squeeze, enough stuff in there to make it 3 hours, which made it a 2-night event.
Can you just see ABC looking at the contract where it's like we pay them by the minute, and then they turn in a 3-hour version of like a 2-hour movie?
It's basically because the theatrical cut, I want to say it's like 2:15, 2:20, something like that. And I think this is fun to watch, like as a fan of the movie, because I know Superman the way you know E.T. You know what I mean? Right. I know every frame of it. I know every cut. I know every music cue. There's nothing about that movie that can surprise me. So when I'm watching this, like the fun of it is like, oh, that's new. It's like Where's Waldo,
Yeah. Oh, but
there's nothing added that really adds to the movie. It's mostly like headers and footers to existing scenes.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's not many diversions or anything. It's just
it's not like, oh, here's a whole subplot. It's like here, it's like instead of I'm making something up, but like instead of Clark Kent, sitting down at the table, it'll be Clark Kent walking into the house, walking into the kitchen, pulling out the chair, and then sitting down at the table. Like literally.
That's really funny.
So it's a lot, and it's a lot of like alternate takes and things. So I definitely think it's worth watching if you're a fan of the movie, because it's just, hey, it's more of Superman the movie, and I love Superman the movie. It's not the movie.
Well, similarly with Terminator 2, like I would recommend to anyone who's a big fan of that movie, they check out the director's cut, but that's rarely the version I would pick.
But, at the very least, the director's cut of T2 adds a few elements that are, like, completely new, and they alter the story in some way. Like, for example, the scene with Michael Biehn as Kyle Reese.
True. Very true.
This does not do that. But, I mean, it's exactly... I mean, it's a 3-hour version of Superman the movie. So, if you like that, it's more of that.
Very cool. I was curious about your take on that.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, but the nice thing is it's available. It's available through Warner Archive, so get it on Amazon.
Very cool. So wait, Warner Archives, is that the thing where it's like made to order?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. That's kind of a cool thing, isn't it?
It's the fact that because you have to imagine that this is aimed at a fairly niche audience. Mm-hmm. What I would love to see, and I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I would love to see them take the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2 and put it together with the theatrical cut of Superman 2 in a way that's, that takes the best of both.
So like a fan edit.
Yeah, because the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2 feels like it's like a glorified DVD extra. Right. Because there's too much that he didn't shoot.
Right.
So it's like the skeleton.
So they used like test footage, right? Like test.
Yeah, at one point, right? There was one bit that they never shot, but they did use as the screen test.
Screen test one.
Yeah. So it's like, and it's two different screen tests that they cut together. So Christopher Reeve looks completely different from one shot to the next. It looks like that, that when they cut together that Radioactive Man. When Milhouse is missing, Yeah,
right.
That's what it's like.
Yeah, except that guy got fired.
Yeah, well, that's right.
And with good cause.
But why don't we take a little break, Brian, and then we'll come back, talk some headlines, etc. And we're back, and we do have some headlines, but I wanted to share a brief listener letter with you, Brian.
Okay.
More specifically, this is a new review that's up on iTunes. And the title is...
what?
I know, that's a rare occurrence these days.
Yeah.
The title is Movie Film Podcast Improved My Marriage.
All right.
That's kind of nice. Because I'm up here recording, and I'm pretty sure my wife is pissed at me. So I think movie film has actually weakened my marriage, I think. So the universe gives, the universe takes.
Yeah.
Like literally, as I was going up to record, I was like, hey, gotta go. Where are you going? I gotta talk to Brian. You do not need to talk to me. So Brian, just so you know, my wife might be mad at you right now.
Sorry. I'll send a edible arrangement tomorrow.
There you go. Well, just put my name on it so that I can get some credit for it. This is from SFTL Bad. Okay. SFTL Bad. I'm trying to. Is that something that I'm missing there?
TL San Francisco. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, SFTL Bad. There you go.
Yeah.
I've been listening for several months on the recommendation of my smart and attractive friend Bushra, who listens to us all the time.
Oh, cool.
I love the chemistry between Brian and Zachy, and as a film lover who, prior to IMDb, kept an informal encyclopedia of who was a star or bit player in which movies, I love the trivia that pops up during discussions. We got chemistry, Brian.
Hey!
It's kind of nice.
It's nice to hear. Something you think, it's nice to hear it articulated by someone else.
It's true. We're like Jonah Hill in 21 Jump Street and Ryan Gosling in The Notebook. I don't know what that means. But
I thought you were going to say Channing Tatum because they had chemistry in that movie together.
That would have made sense. Yeah, I should have gone with that. Damn it. I messed up our chemistry.
That's funny.
Recently, I discovered that the discussion about the new Star Wars movie made me feel invested in that aspect of the franchise for the first time. Who would direct? What could happen? Not only did I feel invested, I was able to leverage the knowledge from Zachy and Brian's discussion as a conversational gambit with my husband, a moderately dedicated Star Wars fan. We had an interesting discussion about the Spielberg versus Abrams options. It was a lot more fun than the usual school/neighbors/work discussion. I've had my husband listen to your podcast, but he didn't hear that one, so the net result was me looking really smart. Highly recommend. It's nice. P.S. Our 6-year-old just pointed out that Yoda is green, and so is the color of the good force and bad force sabers make when they meet. The color of the good force and bad force sabers make green and red. Blue and red. Wait.
Green and blue?
Wait. Color of the good force. The green is... So is the color of the good force and bad... Is that true? When they clash, when the blue and red, do they make green?
Oh, I don't know.
When they meet. Coincidence? I've never noticed that, but...
I'll look for it now.
That's kind of interesting if that's right.
Yeah.
And as far as whether that's a coincidence, I would say yes. George Lucas will say no. Because nothing is ever a coincidence.
Right.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. Well, how would he say it, Zeki? I haven't heard George Lucas in a while.
Well, the power of myth says that,
Love it.
I miss George Lucas. I miss his cranky cantankerousness.
You know who almost directed Return of the Jedi? Me!
Hi, everybody!
Your buddy, David Lynch. Good to see you. Now, Jabba.
Well, David, actually, Jabba is,
Oh my gosh, that is a set I would love. Yes. To be a fly on the wall.
That needs to be like a documentary, right? There's that documentary about when like Malcolm and Martin, like the imaginary conversation between the two of them. We need Lucas and Lynch.
Oh, that would be so great.
Somebody needs to make that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, anyway, I'm just going to talk like David Lynch for the rest of the episode if we...
Yeah, please don't do that because we will lose subscribers. Yes. It'll be like the Dana Carvey show. We'll have like 1 million listeners drop in the next minute.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for that letter. That was very nice. And I'm glad we are improving somebody's marriage.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
That's always a good thing. We do have a couple trailers, Brian.
Yeah. It's been a while, it seems.
It has been. It's been a while since we've done trailer talk.
Yeah, well, and I can't think. I mean, maybe it was because it was summer, but trailers even worth mentioning, really, like big trailers we wanted to talk about.
We talked about a few things. Like we talked about the Mark Felt trailer, as I recall.
Touche.
Yeah, but this is not the Mark Felt trailer, Brian. This is the Black Panther trailer, specifically the first full trailer.
Yeah. Oh, the last one wasn't full, huh?
It was like the teaser trailer.
I see.
But this comes out in February of next year. It is the much anticipated Marvel Studios movie. I would say, anecdotally, it seems like it's more anticipated than many Marvel Studios movies. Yeah.
I mean, well, should we play a little clip from it real quick before we get into it?
Let's do it.
Okay.
I have seen gods fly. I've seen men build weapons that I couldn't even imagine. I've seen aliens drop from the sky.
Yeah.
But I have never seen anything like this. How much more are you hiding?
Hold up. Let's go.
We are home. My son, it is your time.
Show me my respect and bow down.
You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be. Don't freeze.
I never freeze.
The revolution will not be televised. Show me my respect.
All right. So Black Panther, it is directed by Ryan Coogler. It stars Chadwick Boseman. I was going to say Channing Tatum, but that would be not right. Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa, King of Wakanda. It also stars Michael B. Jordan and Angela Bassett and Lupita Nyong'o and basically every high-profile African-American actor is in this movie. I mean, like, seriously, it's like Forrest Whitaker's in there. And,
oh, wow.
I think Morgan Freeman is like the only person not in this.
Well, we'll see what happens. We don't know that.
I saw this online where, the only two white people in this movie are Gollum and Bilbo, Andy Serkis and Morgan Freeman, which makes them the Tolkien white guys.
No. That's great.
I wish I could take credit for that, but that is like one of the most genius.
That is genius.
I've ever seen.
That's like if I was in the room with the guy who came up with that, I would stand up and clap for that person.
I think whoever made that joke became one with the force after making that joke.
Yes.
Yeah. They closed their eyes and just disappeared.
Yeah.
Just left behind a pile of clothes.
That's great.
But what do you think of this trailer, man? I'm always curious about your take on this stuff, because I come at this, I'm like, oh my God, Black Panther! It's Black! Oh my God, it's Eric Killmonger, who is the Michael B. Jordan character. It's Claw, who is the Andy Serkis character. So I'm like nerding out. You know nothing of this stuff. You're a normie.
I'm a normie
when it comes to Marvel.
When it comes to this,
yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're super excited. You can bounce me out a little bit. I kind of have the same reaction that I have for most of the Marvel movies, where I'm like, great, but then I don't think about it much. Like I'm not anticipating it, but I'm definitely going to go, and I'm probably really going to like it. And that's what has happened with this is the other thing too. A lot of the Marvel movies, and I don't want to sound like this chorus because I do really like them, but they were starting to even out a little bit and sort of blend into one another. But then they found these ways to make each of them sort of pop. You had the Guardians pop, and you had Spider-Man recently pop, and Thor 3, they're clearly trying to make pop in a very different way. And with Black Panther, I felt the same thing. I was like, there's a little bit in its DNA that feels familiar with the others, but at the same time, it looks very, very different. The technology of Wakanda and all those sorts of things. So I'm glad that this does feel like it's going to be different than the others. But at the same time, there's sort of a sameness to the action. Like a lot of the times when they had these shots of him flying around and jumping from car to car, I was sort of like, I don't know.
We have seen that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the perspective is the key thing. The fact that it's these, the richness of this African culture. It's obviously looking at it squarely from the perspective of the black characters, which I think is lacking in this genre. This is like the I'm gonna get you sucker of superhero movies.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen that, really?
No.
That's like a parody of blaxploitation movies. So I guess that could. I don't mean to be offensive. I just realized as I said. But in this, what I mean is like I'm Gonna Get You Sucker has like every like big black actor from like the 70s and 80s.
Oh, okay, I see.
In that sense, just to be fair.
Yeah. No. And it's funny because
you should watch I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. It's very funny.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. You just reminded me what I was going to say, because with Spider-Man again. When I saw the trailers, I was not looking forward to Spider-Man at all with the trailers. I wasn't not looking forward to it. I just was like, all right, I'll see it when I see it. But what was really great about that movie was the story and the characters. And that's what I think a lot of, when people talk about superhero fatigue, is because everything's starting to feel very, very like echoes of things we've already seen and very similar. And Spider-Man was surprising because it felt fresh. And what I'm hoping with this one is that I really care about these characters, and it's a great story that feels fresh. So, yeah, I have high hopes for it, for sure.
I think for me, the most exciting thing to me is Ryan Coogler, his next project. Like, I'm like, whatever Ryan Coogler does next, I want to see. That's
for sure, for sure.
So
he's an exciting director who has yet to disappoint. So, and then having him take this leap to a big movie like this, this is the from what we can tell with these trailers, this is the best version of that happening. A lot of times it seems they take these people that had a successful small movie and then they give them these big movies, and we're like, well, that's interesting. I would love to see this guy's interpretation of a big film. Right. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. From these trailers, it looks like it translated quite well.
Well, and with that in mind, let's talk about our next trailer, and this is Pacific Rim 2. Mm-hmm. It's not called Pacific Rim 2. It's called Pacific Rim Uprising.
Ah, of course. What was Tron called? Tron Uprising was the animated show, right?
Tron
Legacy.
Tron Legacy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and maybe that's an apt comparison because Pacific Rim is a movie that is beloved in certain quarters.
Yes.
It left me completely cold.
I remember being surprised by enjoying it.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say by how much I enjoyed it, because I don't think I loved it, but
Sure.
I think I went and saw it sort of out of duty to the show.
Sure.
And I was home. I remember this. I was home visiting when I lived in Chicago. And my parents were like, well, if you're going, we'll go. And I was like, I don't think you guys are going to enjoy this. But we all went as a family. And I remember everyone was like, oh, well, that was fun.
Sure.
That's how I remember it. Oh, that was fun. I don't think I'll ever watch it again. And, I mean, spoiler, the trailer didn't do a lot for me. But
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, should we play a lot of, look at how large that monster is, and then boom.
Well, now that you've said it, we kind of have to.
Yeah. Now I'm going to have to find that moment in the trailer.
We were born into a world at war. Between the monsters that destroyed our cities and the monsters we created to stop them, we thought we had sacrificed enough. But the war we thought we finished is just beginning. And the only thing standing in front of the apocalypse is us.
War ready. War ready.
But it doesn't matter where you came from, who believed in you and who didn't.
War ready. War ready.
This is our time, this is our chance to make a difference.
War ready.
Now let's get it done. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so this one is not directed by Guillermo del Toro, who the first one was like kind of a passion project for him.
Yeah.
Instead, he bolted to do The Shape of Water.
Which we weren't going to talk about, but I'm very much looking forward to that.
That looks really good, yeah.
Yeah.
And so this one is directed by Stephen S. DeKnight, who, I don't know what he's directed. I mean, he I know him as a producer on TV of what do you call it? Spartacus.
Okay.
On Starz. Like, that's what I know him from. And I think he was showrunner on Daredevil, like on the first season of Daredevil.
Okay.
But I don't know him as a director. So this stars John Boyega as the son of what's his name, Idris Elba in the first movie.
Okay.
And I gotta be honest. I mean, I saw this in the theater and people were going nuts, and I'm just like, it just looks like more of the same.
Yeah. I mean, this movie
I don't get the appeal.
Same. The thing that sort of made me laugh was there's all these huge monsters throughout the whole trailer, and then finally at the end they're like, oh no, it's the worst thing that could possibly happen after everything you've just seen. And I was like, what is it? It's like another big monster.
It looks exactly the same.
Yeah, it looks exactly the same. I couldn't tell at all the scale compared to the others if it was bigger or not. They could have just been a practical joke, and it wasn't at all. But I am pretty unmoved. But you know what? For people who enjoy this sort of thing, that like the monster, big monster movies, and
it'll be the sort of thing they enjoy.
Yeah, it'll be perfect. I just don't think.
I watched the first one, and I think the first Pacific Rim was one of those. That was the moment where I was like, I'm just not the audience for these movies, like this kind of thing. Like I could easily see, 10-year-old me being blown away by it.
Yeah.
But it just it did very little for me. And actually, that was the first time I saw Charlie Hunnam. Now that I think about it, and I remember being sort of awestruck by how terrible he was in that movie.
Was he the lead in that? I don't even remember.
He's the lead, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like I had never seen. I still haven't seen Sons of Anarchy and stuff. So I only knew him from this, and I'm like, this guy's awful,
Yeah, it was just. I think it was one of those things, and this is like a totally to your taste sort of thing. But we've talked about this before. When a movie goes crazy with the action, like a Transformers film, you sort of lose track of what is cool. Because if it's like a robot does something crazy and knocks a building over, you're like, cool. But when it like knocks a building over and then it does another thing, and then it flies into a jet, and it throws the jet into another jet, and then the two jets into the another. You're just like, I've lost track of if this is awesome or not. Like
I want some warm milk and I want to go to bed. Like that's
yeah. So I mean, that's me. Then those things sort of lose me, and I lose track of what's awesome. And so, but you know, other people, if they enjoy watching stuff collide for like 2 hours straight, then totally.
The only thing for me is, you know, I'd like John Boyega to have some success. I like John Boyega.
Ditto, dude. Oh, Attack the Block was on cable again. I almost forgot that was John Boyega. Well, you haven't seen it?
I've never seen it, yeah.
Oh, so good. I highly recommend Attack the Block. A lot of fun. Feels Edgar Wright produced it, and it feels very Edgar Wright-y.
Edgar Wright-ish?
Yeah. But yeah, very good.
I'll have to seek that out.
Yeah.
We do have some headlines, though, Brian.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we mentioned that Ryan Coogler moved on from the first Creed to do Black Panther, but that meant that he couldn't come back to do the second Creed, which is due to start production very soon.
Okay.
And I'd just like to take credit for the fact that I called the one thing that nobody else could possibly have predicted, Brian.
Yeah.
Not one person other than me predicted that in lieu of Ryan Coogler directing Creed 2, Sylvester Stallone was going to take over and direct it.
You called it.
I am nobody else on this earth.
I saw that coming.
I know, of course, this is entirely predictable because who else but Sylvester Stallone has the credibility to take over what is ultimately the 8th Rocky movie.
Wow. Yeah. Well, and he's been doing a lot of teasing on Twitter and Instagram, right?
Yeah, it's very funny because it's almost like that's like his exclusive way of communicating with people now, and it's cute because he's like this old guy, and it's like he just discovered what Instagram can do. You know,
that's really funny.
It's like, hey, I'm writing this script over here. Look at that. It says Ivan Drago, eh? Look at that.
Snip, snip.
Yeah. So this, I mean, they've been teasing it for like God knows how long that the second Creed will somehow involve Ivan Drago, and apparently we've gotten confirmation that Dolph Lundgren will be back as Ivan Drago.
I'm curious what that character is like 30 years later. I mean, is he still a menacing sort of wordless villain, or is he changed? Does he have a son?
Let's be real here. Do we honestly think this is going to be a fight between Michael B. Jordan and Dolph Lundgren? There's no way.
There's no way.
So what does it mean? I mean, I think I'm pretty sure I said this on an earlier episode. I think we're going to see a Drago who, 30 years later or whatever, he regrets what happened. He regrets killing this guy's dad.
Yeah.
If you remember in Rocky IV, he kind of has a face turn. Ivan Drago does. Mm-hmm. He yells at Mikhail Gorbachev. Remember that?
Yes.
He's like, Yashibla! and that's my imitation of, I don't know what he's saying. Gorbachev starts applauding for Rocky, remember? And that was how the wall fell.
Yeah, yes. That
was the moment. That's how I choose to remember it. So we know Drago is going to be involved in some way. I don't even care, man. We're getting another Rocky movie. Sylvester Stallone is making it. Come on.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. I watched Creed 1 again just the other day, and it's like the amazing thing about that movie is above and beyond oh cool, it's more Rocky, but I mean the character of Adonis Creed is so interesting and compelling. The movie is worth watching for him.
Yeah, I agree.
You're not waiting for the Rocky scenes.
Yep. And his scenes are good too. So it was all It was a great surprise, that film.
Yeah, so they're gonna they start filming very shortly, and I think the plan is to release it in 2019. So
okay.
Michael B. Jordan, he's a busy man.
Very cool.
Another sequel that's coming out. Well, I don't know if this is so much a sequel, but it's a continuation of the DC Extended Universe. It seems like every episode we have to have a conversation about the DCEU. And this is about Justice League, which is coming out very shortly. God, less than a month away. We're less than a month away from being able to have Justice League be in our rearview mirror.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I can't wrap my head around the fact that it's almost the end of this year. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So November 17th, Justice League comes out. And, of course, it has had a famously fraught production, let's just say.
Uh-huh.
And so the latest wrinkle is that the runtime of this film has been announced, and it is 121 minutes.
No. The horror. I said no.
Yeah. I hear that, and I'm like, thank God.
Me too.
Because I'm just like, I don't want to sit through 2.5 hour, 3 hour movies anymore, you know?
No, not if I don't have to.
But here's the interesting thing. It's not like 88 minutes. This is not like Dark Tower territory.
No.
So like, there's no red flags here is my point. 121 minutes, that's like right in the wheelhouse of like a normal movie of this kind. But you would not know that from the reaction from certain quarters on Twitter, who just went ballistic.
Well, I didn't see this, actually. I saw a headline about it. But, yeah, I mean, Star Wars is 2 hours. Come on.
Citizen Kane is 2 hours.
Yeah, right.
You know? I mean, yeah, the guy who broke this story literally got death threats.
I don't even know. This is like a whole... We could talk for hours about this.
Like, the transition from fandom to over-the-top fanaticism is so bonkers that... It's really like I don't want this to be like, hey, let's kick the DCEU, but I have to say this: some of the overzealous fandom for this stuff, it really boggles the mind.
I don't get it at all.
Yeah, that's the thing. I get being a fan of something. I don't get. I mean, first of all, if it doesn't matter what you're a fan of, you shouldn't send anybody death threats. That's insane. But this, of all things, like that's what's so weird to me. Like what is it in these DC movies that prompts such like over the top adulation? Like I'm truly like this isn't. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, it almost feels with this just like a readiness to pounce or something because it's
like anything.
No one's even. What's that?
Like over any piece of news.
Yeah, because no one's even seen it. No one is saying if it's good or bad. They're just saying how long it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm dreading writing my review of this thing.
Right.
Because I'm still getting hate mail about my Batman vs. Superman review.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, yeah, so 121 minutes. I mean, to me, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I have to imagine that they've done a lot of pruning, and despite the proclamations to the contrary, I think there will be a lot of footage that was in the trailers that probably will not make it into the movie. That's my prediction, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, which is a unique circumstance with this film because of behind the scenes things. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So, very curious. I know that you're kind of like, well, I'm going to watch it because that's what we do on this show. We watch movies we don't really feel like watching.
Yeah, and it's funny though because I'm not begrudging it. I want this movie to be awesome. Like that's what we always talk about. Like I love Batman. Of course, right. I want this movie to be good. I just feel what we've been set up for and what I've seen in the trailers don't have me thrilled. But I hope it's great. I
have to imagine that Ben Affleck has one eye on the exit. He can't wait to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, I mean, this movie isn't going to be the same movie it was going to be even 8 months ago.
Right,
so,
isn't that crazy?
Who knows? I'd be actually curious when you say that about Affleck. I mean, I don't know. What does he think about what it was versus what it is now?
It's what the shame of it is that Ben Affleck is legitimately good as Batman and Bruce Wayne, and knowing that he's a Batman fan. I mean, who isn't a Batman fan? But you have that opportunity. You want it to be nothing but the best. So I mean, obviously, joking aside with that sad Affleck video and stuff. I mean, it's got to hurt, and he's had kind of a rough couple months, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's with everything. I mean, he kind of got caught up in the backwash of the Harvey Weinstein thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's. I wonder if he's having flashbacks to like 2002 Affleck.
Yeah, I don't know. That's who knows what's going on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but anyway,
not good stuff.
There are. Right, exactly. It's a lot of bad mojo. But, we are planning on doing a Man of Steel commentary track before Justice League comes out.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to that because that is a DCEU movie that I like, and I know, Brian, you liked it. And I don't think either of us has really revisited it the whole way through since 2013, right?
No, you know what? It's funny. I don't remember why, but when I worked at Bob's Burgers, we started watching it at lunch. And we would cram into an office, and we watched it in maybe 3 parts over lunch one week. And we were all like, "This movie's pretty good."
I don't understand the over the top hate for that movie either. So
no, yeah, I like that movie.
I'm like Switzerland and all this. I'm just like, come on, everybody, let's get along. Another project that is this one is unexpected. And I'm really just mentioning this because of the sheer incongruousness of it. And it is that Michael Bay has figured out what his next project's going to be, Brian.
Yeah, well, what is that?
After Transformers, as we know, he is done with the Transformers franchise. So he's moving on. He needs new worlds to conquer.
Okay.
And he set his sights on none other than...
Yes.
Dora the Explorer.
Which is very... I mean, immediately, it just lends itself to the obvious joke.
It's like the Photoshops, the fake Photoshop posters sort of create themselves, right?
Right. Well, and then, for anyone who's not familiar with what Dora the Explorer is, it's a preschool set show about a girl who literally talks to the screen and is like, I can't find my backpack. Where's my backpack? Do you see my backpack? That sort of thing, right?
That's basically it.
Actually, that sounded like David Lynch doing it, didn't it? Where's my backpack?
Hey, I'm looking for my backpack.
Hey, you. But it's Nick Stoller is going to make it. The guy who did Neighbors and The Muppets, which is kind of interesting. So part of me, yes, the obvious joke is it's going to be Megan Fox in a ripped shirt, right. Trying to find her backpack. But on the other hand, it seems like maybe this is just him being a savvy producer and buying up some sort of property, and then you get this. This is another sort of modern trend where you have this filmmaker who makes these sort of R-rated comedies. What am I trying to say? The example, like the 21 Jump Streets and the they've been trying to do with Chips and all that sort of thing. Nick Stoller feels sort of that set, right? With Neighbors and whatnot.
But bear in mind, the premise is that instead of being a 7-year-old like on the show, she will be a teenager.
Oh my gosh, I'm having flashbacks to the Romeo and Juliet laws, and why do I even know what that is? Why do I even know what that is?
That's in your head now because
of Michael Bay.
Your friend and mine, Michael Bay. Yeah. I mentioned this purely because of the incongruousness of these two names being linked together, and I just say, Hollywood.
I know. I can't picture it. Is this like a? This show is aimed at preschoolers. So are they going to try to make this sort of witty, almost Austin Powers PG-13 thing? Are they going to go for a more PG sort of middle-ish, little younger set, kind of like the Monster Trucks kind of film, which they don't make a lot of movies like that? Like, what is this? I don't know.
Yeah.
Curious. Actually, I'm not curious. I don't really care.
You're not even remotely curious. Don't humor us.
Actually, when the trailer comes out, I'll be curious to hit play and see what it is. But until then,
and that'll be the beginning and end of your investment in Dora the Explorer, the movie. Right. But while we're talking about Michael Bay, his last film starred Mark Wahlberg, who made some headlines because he wants God to forgive him for starring in Boogie Nights. Did you see this?
Yeah. I would like. I've seen this headline everywhere today. I'd kind of like to hear the audio clip. I can't tell if he's being facetious, if it was just it made a great headline. I have no clue.
Well, the quote in context is, he considered himself a person of faith, and he was at a Q&A with the Cardinal at UIC in Chicago. So this is via the Tribune. He says, "I just always hope that God is a movie fan, okay? And also forgiving, because I've made some poor choices in my past. Boogie Nights is up there at the top of the list, okay?" And he goes on to say, I've never been shy about sharing my past and bad decisions I've made, et cetera, et cetera. So he's joking. You can take it in context.
It's funny, though. I'm sorry. Actually, I was taking it as a joke, but now that I'm reading it in context, I have the quote in front of me now with you, and with your voice bringing it to life. He is like tying it up. I mean, he might be kidding slightly, but then he directly next mentions being affiliated with gangs and being incarcerated. I don't know.
Yeah, which to me it's like well, Boogie Nights and gangbanging is not exactly the same thing,
Yeah.
Letting your Diggler hang out isn't exactly the same as like jacking people.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I think I kind of understand where he's saying, like if his kids are going through his catalog, it's maybe one that he's not. Well,
I think God would be the first to say, "Look, man, let's talk about The Happening for a second." We'll deal with Boogie Nights later. That's Paul Thomas Anderson's problem.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But it's funny, by the way. This is just sort of like the whole round-the-clock internet news. But like I said, I've seen this headline everywhere. I've seen it on movie sites. I've seen it on Yahoo. I've seen it on news sites. It's just so funny when sort of a tantalizing quote comes up and then it's just blah. It's just everywhere.
It's entirely innocuous what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do think, if nothing else, it calls attention to how, like, Mark Wahlberg is now like respected actor Mark Wahlberg, and I don't know about you, I sure wouldn't have thought that in the early '90s when he was in his Funky Bunch phase. Yeah,
he was Marky Mark. We know him as Marky Mark.
That's right,
for sure. Yeah.
So kudos to him.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's great in that movie, and he's also great in Three Kings, which was kind of one of the earlier ones.
I feel like Three Kings was the first time I saw him as... Because I hadn't seen Boogie Nights when I saw Three Kings.
Ditto. I didn't see that until later.
Three Kings was where I was like, wow, Mark Wahlberg's legit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, him, Clooney, and Ice Cube. They're all great in that.
Yeah, and Spike Jonze, of course.
Yep.
One person who never has to prove his worth, Brian, is Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum is now making the rounds promoting Thor Ragnarok, which we'll be talking about in our next episode. But he is going to be seen in theaters next summer, back in arguably his most iconic role. Ryan, that's fair, right?
I think that's fair.
He will be reprising the role of Ian Malcolm in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which is the fifth Jurassic Park movie.
Wow. Who would have thought we'd get up to 5? But
and especially this many years later.
Yeah. You know what's funny is when he was being interviewed about this and they were asking what has Ian Malcolm been up to for the past 20 years, he jokes, this is him. Actually, do you do Jeff Goldblum?
I'm not really sure. What's he been in the meantime? He opened a jazz club, probably, and he's been playing every Wednesday in a place called Rockwell. He calls it Rockwell.
Rockwell, you say? Yeah, no, and which is funny because that is literally what Jeff Goldblum is doing. He does play jazz every Wednesday at a club in L.A. called Rockwell, which I have been to. I've been to his show. So when he said that quote, I thought it was pretty cool because in my mind I was like, oh, I've seen Ian Malcolm. If that's the backstory he's creating for himself, I would like to put that together in my reality.
I think that's a shared universe worth living in.
Yeah, I agree.
But they asked him. They said, "What's
nice, Jeff Goldblum?"
I know, not by design. Yeah, no. They asked him about his role in the film, and he says, "Ian Malcolm, yes, might be back in this one, and he might have something to say about the current confluence of circumstances around the use and misuse of technology, with some wry irony, deep, wise, passionate conviction, and he might put on a nice dark bit of clothing here and there, and a tint of glass, maybe."
I can picture him. Just sort of lightly touching his chin as he's doing it. Like looking off wistfully. Dude, you've got to interview him sometime, man. You have to.
Oh, man, are you kidding me? I would need to take my kid with me. I told him, I was like, hey, Jeff Goldblum's going to be in the next Jurassic Park. And he's like, really? That's awesome. Like, he knows who Jeff Goldblum is. My 11-year-old knows Jeff Goldblum by name, you know?
Yeah.
I'm super excited to have Ian Malcolm back, but they better not kill him off.
Yeah, he is having a bit of a Harrison Ford moment here, where he's in the Independence Day sequel X amount of years after the fact, and now, I don't want that either. I don't want him eaten by dinosaurs.
I think I said it before. Like, knowing our luck, he'll show up, and then he'll be eaten by the Kylo Rex. And that would be deeply upsetting to me.
Yeah, I don't want that. I get it, and I get why they did it to Han Solo, but I don't want it. I'm putting it on record. Don't do it.
It's funny because I was half expecting that to happen to Harrison Ford in Blade Runner.
Yes. I'm glad they didn't. Spoiler.
Yeah, right. Whatever. The movie's like out of theaters already. It was in, like 8 people watched it. So
I know.
You had your chance, people. Now we spoil it.
I want to see it again.
I saw it twice.
Yeah. What'd you think of it the second time?
I liked it.
Like it more?
I will admit, I was very tired, and I timed a very specific nap for the middle, and that has to do with the movie.
I was going to spit out my drink. So that you timed
I was
it?
like, okay. Yeah, like I'm at a point now biologically where my mutant power is that I can put myself to sleep instantly and wake up on a dime. It's the damnedest thing. So, like, as we were watching the movie, I was like, oh, okay, this part, I'm just going to sleep through this. And then I slept through it, and I woke up right when past that part. So I got like a 7-minute power nap in that movie.
That's great.
Yeah.
Congrats, man.
I'm quite proud of that accomplishment, yeah. But including the 7-minute power nap, no, it's a very enjoyable movie. I think that the box office has been entirely unsurprising. I think anyone who's shocked that the movie has flopped is kidding themselves. I said from the beginning that I don't know why they were spending this much money on it.
That I agree with. I don't know that I would have predicted it would have flopped. I never thought it was going to be a hit. Or
sure.
It's not a runaway hit, not even a hit. But I am surprised that it didn't open a little bit bigger. And the only reason I say it is because I feel like there was a huge push for it. I mean, that trailer, I saw a trailer so many times.
And it was a misstated push. Because Ryan Gosling doesn't open movies, Harrison Ford sure doesn't open movies anymore.
Right.
And you ask an average 18-year-old about Blade Runner, they'll be like, oh, you mean rollerblades?
Would they even know that?
Yeah, good point, Yeah.
So there goes my rollerblading action movie script. Blades.
Yeah. Blades. What were we talking about?
Bladen.
Hold on, let's trace our train of thought. Bladen.
Yeah, we'll take the G off the end. This is what I want to talk about. Blading. Wait, who would star in Bladen? Well, Channing Tatum would star in Bladen.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get back to this.
Moving on.
You know what's going to happen? This is going to get announced next week. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I know, and we'll be like shaking our fist at the heavens.
I know.
Real quick before we do our Star Wars news, one last piece of news here. Magnum P.I. is coming back, Brian.
Yes.
And all I have to say is it's about That is probably the greatest 1980s theme music of the 1980s.
Behind Alf? Yeah, I know. Dun, 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 dun. I'm not drinking, by the way.
I refuse to believe that.
Yeah. No, it's a great opening. That's one of those shows that I remember from the 80s watching with my parents. That's like a very 80s.
Everyone. Yeah. It's the 1980s on CBS specifically was like this wellspring of gimmick detective shows.
Yeah, I don't remember his shtick. What was his shtick?
Well, he drives the Ferrari and he's got the Hawaiian shirt and he's like working for the guy who we never see, Robin Masters.
See, I don't even remember that part.
Yeah, well, because the whole thing is that he lives on the estate of this author, Robin Masters, who we never see, and the guy Higgins is like Robin Masters' is like assistant. He's like Alfred, basically.
Yep, I remember him.
Yeah, so he was in Vietnam, and he comes back from Vietnam, and he's got his like porno stash and his short shorts, and he solves crime in Hawaii.
Yeah,
that was the gimmick. I mean, the gimmick was Tom Selleck is a sexy man.
right. In Hawaii,
I'm told. In Hawaii.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's funny because they've been kicking around a reboot of this for a long time. And I mean, I remember at one time I'm talking mid to late 90s, Tom Selleck even talked about how he had gotten Tom Clancy on board to write a script for a Magnum movie. But Universal, who owned the rights, was not interested. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Tom Clancy?
Yeah.
Huh.
Tom Clancy was like a Magnum fan.
I kind of wish that had happened.
I know, right? Doesn't that sound kind of interesting?
Yeah. Huh.
And then at one time, they were talking about a movie starring George Clooney, as I recall. That never happened.
Yeah.
And then Matthew McConaughey even talked about how it was they offered him like millions of dollars to play Magnum P.I., and that was his moment of like, I don't want to do this type of stuff anymore.
Really?
And and that's when he did like Dallas Buyers Club or whatever.
Oh, so pretty recent.
Yeah, I mean, this would have been past like 5-6 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
So this is going to be a CBS series, just as it was before. And the big twist here is that instead of John Higgins, it's going to be Jennifer Higgins.
Higgins. Okay, so Magnum is still male, but Higgins will be female.
Yes.
Okay.
So there will be lots of will they, won't they tension,
yes,
I'm assuming,
of course.
now. I think it'd be more interesting if you make Higgins male still, but add will they, won't they tension anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
If you really want to mix it up. So I have no thoughts on this. I had a lengthy list of grievances I was going to recite about how Magnum can only be Tom Selleck, but I posted this on Facebook, and our listener Maddie Feck rightly pointed out, hey, I remember like 2 years ago when you were just bitching nonstop about Lethal Weapon coming back to TV.
Touche.
And he's like, how's that feel now, jackass? And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. So
yeah.
I'm just not going to say anything. I'll just be like, hey, Magnum P.I. is a thing that's coming back. So there we go.
Yeah, all right, well.
Let me put it this way. I hope Magnum is more Lethal Weapon and less MacGyver.
Yes, I was going to bring that up.
So there we go. I'm going to be the Brian Hall in this whole thing. I'm going to be like, you know what? There's a good version and there's a bad version. I hope it's the good version.
But it's funny, speaking of MacGyver, which I never watched, but I don't even know if it's still on. That seems like
It is still on.
It is still on. Okay, well, I was going to say, it seems like kind of a rare misfire for CBS. They seem to just know what their audience wants, right? And they make these shows, and they all last super, super long. But that one seemed like a weird misstep for them. But maybe I'm wrong. Apparently, I'm wrong.
It's still. I predicted very confidently that it wouldn't last till mid-season last year.
Yeah,
and so I'm already completely off. That said, MacGyver came back, and I don't know how it's doing for its second season, but it did.
Well, any MacGyver fans out there want to write us and tell us what's going on?
Yeah, please. Yeah, I mean, I have no interest in ever revisiting it, but it's really it brings to mind what you've said before about how every show, like, you can tell what network it's on. Like, you can imagine what this new Magnum P.I. is going to look like.
Yes.
Hawaii Five-0 has a certain look. MacGyver has. They all look like CBS shows.
Yes.
So this is a thing that I would assume is going to... Actually, and speaking of fall TV, I would like to point out that I've been watching The Orville semi-regularly, and I'll be damned if I have not been enjoying The Orville.
It's funny because I feel like you and I were one of the few people that were not ready to take it down after the pilot. And,
that's true.
Yeah, and I was like, it didn't deliver exactly, but I see something here. And sure enough, you and I've had other friends say the same thing. I've been so busy, I haven't been able to watch it. It's collecting up in my DVR, but I've that's what I am looking forward to checking in on.
It is
I'm happy to hear
completely innocuous. It's just it's like, you know, it's one of those things that you could leave it on in the background and just kind of have it playing while you're doing other stuff. You know, it doesn't require a heavy investment. I mean, it's ironically enough, it's more like the old Star Trek than the current Star Trek, and that's not meant as a dig on either show. It's very much about like introduce conflict, resolve conflict, move on. You know.
Yeah, I think I'm too deep right now. TWO
okay.
Deep, and I started to get a whiff of where I felt like it was headed, and I was like, oh, I kind of like this old school storytelling sort of thing it's doing.
It's quaint.
Yes, yeah.
That's kind of nice. And by the way, Star Trek Discovery, I've continued to enjoy, and
real quick, tell me what you think about that. I only was able to see what they aired on CBS, and as I told you in a previous episode, I feel like they should have aired 2 episodes instead of 1, because just one of them.
You know what's funny is I think I've said this elsewhere, if not on this show, but I mean the first episode that they aired on CBS, like the sampler episode, should have been the 3rd episode.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think the first 2 episodes are almost like a prologue. Like it's almost like it's like the web shorts that you release before the movie, like the little things that they put out in front of Blade Runner kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Because I feel like the 3rd episode is like a great intro to the universe of the show and what they're doing. So I don't know why they did what they did, but in my opinion, it was a mistake.
Huh. And I only got half the prologue meant.
So it's goofy on multiple levels.
But it's been renewed.
It has, yeah. It's been renewed for another season, and you know, the reaction overall is pretty solid. I've been talking about the show every week on the Discovery Debrief podcast with Chris Clow and company, and I just enjoy discussing the show. I mean, as just a fan of Star Trek, I enjoy all the callbacks and connections, but beyond that, I think it's telling a compelling story. I'd be curious if you ever got a chance to check it out, what you'd think of it.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah. But enough Star Trek talk, okay. Brian. It's time to switch up at least half of that, and we're gonna keep the star, lose the Trek, because it's time for, based on that music I'm hearing, Star Wars news. All right, what do we got, Brian?
Well, I mean, we've talked about J.J. Abrams. That was a big. With Colin Trevorrow out, J.J. Abrams was in. That was a big story. But now we're actually hearing for the first time from J.J. Abrams talking about Episode 9. And you got to wonder, because he's jumping into something that was probably already in motion, right?
To some degree.
To some degree. And you got to wonder, does he have ideas in mind? What was sort of set up for him? Whatnot? What is this going to be? And
right.
He spoke out a little bit about that and basically said that this is going to tie up or bring all together all 3 trilogies. So the
all
prequels,
3 trilogies. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, original trilogy and this current trilogy. And apparently whatever's happened in Episode 9 is going to satisfactorily tie all those things together.
You know what that means?
Which feels like a lot.
That means Supreme Leader Snoke is for sure going to be Jar Jar Binks.
You know what's funny? It did not even occur to me with the prequel thing. I mean, I just was like, well, of course, Anakin somehow is going to play into it somehow
sure.
or whatever. I mean, a lot of people speculating he's going to be in the next one, actually, played by Hayden Christensen as some sort of Force ghost.
Which makes sense because Hayden Christensen appeared at Star Wars Celebration earlier this year.
Yeah, I think that was a big impetus of that, right?
Yeah.
Just thinking, we're getting... I don't even think they were so much testing the waters. Anything they put in front of you at Star Wars Celebration, you're going to applaud for.
Right.
And when he was brought out, he got a very warm reception, which I'm sure they're like, all right. Okay.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. So, that's... We'll see. We've still got Episode 8 to
But here's my question, Brian. I mean, do from Abrams' comments, do we intuit that the Episode 9 is the last episode?
That's funny. You know, it didn't even occur to me, but that feels like... I'm certain it won't be.
Sure.
But that feels like that would be kind of nice. I mean, trilogies, obviously we like things that work in threes, and this is the third trilogy. So if this were the end of the Star Wars episodes,
but
that does sound like a nice
here's my
ending.
question. I mean, does that almost, like, if you say, well, this is the last episode of this arc, but we'll be back, down the line with more, that almost eases the pressure on this one.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Totally.
As opposed to, this is it. This is the end of all of it. Because you're going to be expecting the sun and the moon and Alderaan and Naboo out of this thing,
On the other hand, it's kind of difficult because I imagine if they are going to make a 10, you do want to feel 7, 8, and 9 are of a piece,
Yes.
right? And so with the original trilogy, the way that it ended when they didn't know if they were going to make any more
Yes.
was the Empire's done. Like,
Right.
we're good. Everybody's happy. We're all together. Our heroes all lived. The end. So how do you wrap this thing up in a way that feels good and feels like these three all belong together and have a satisfying ending, but then continue and but ... and
Right.
and not make it feel like like dragging something out.
Yes, that's true.
I don't know. I mean, it's not my issue to figure out, but
That's true.
you know,
You don't have to worry about it.
yeah. So good luck, guys.
What else? What else is happening?
Did you this morning see the behind the scenes, quote unquote, trailer that came out for last year?
I didn't. I've been meaning to.
It's very similar to the one that they did for Force Awakens.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah. Oh, that was awesome.
Yes, it's very similar. I don't know that it stirred me as much as that one did. I think at that time we were all just like eating up everything. But it's similar in that Rian Johnson is a big presence in it. He's sort of talking about what it feels like. He talks about these moments where you look at the Millennium Falcon and you're like, holy crap, but then you have a job to do. So you make your movie and you put on your director's cap again, but then you have another holy crap moment. He's talking about balancing those moments out. And you get to see some cool behind-the-scenes footage of sets. I was talking about this with a friend this morning, where we love these movies so much, but it's really cool taking a step back and seeing the filmmaking aspect of it also.
Yeah.
Scored by John Williams. And
of course.
It brings up all the feels. So, yeah, and I don't think you see maybe some new footage or new angles of scenes you've already seen, but it doesn't give you anything. For people who are worried about being spoiled, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Right.
So yeah, I recommend you check it out.
Very cool. I will. And we finally know the title of the Han Solo movie. Solo.
Yes.
That was my preferred title. Solo. How low can we go? Solo.
It's Solo. Solo. That's it.
Well, to be fair, it is Solo, a Star Wars story.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
this is another thing. People kind of lost their minds a little bit at this title.
That I don't recall.
People are like, how dare you have a title that's as simple as this? Why isn't it called Han Solo? Or why isn't it called Han Solo and the this? Or, people, I don't know, people like to get upset.
Yeah, people like to get upset. I will say that I am surprised a little bit that it's not Han Solo, but I don't care.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, I'm an old man. I have bills to pay. I'm worried about making my rent. I can assure you, a missing syllable on the title of the Han Solo movie is not in the top 25 things that are of concern to me.
Yeah. And then you immediately bring up to me that it's 120 minutes long, and I'm like, what?
You son of a... Yeah, exactly. I do. I mean, it's crazy that it's going to be like 6 months between episode 8 and Han Solo.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's different. Like, I'm used to my Christmas routine with these Star Wars movies.
Yeah, when they announced that they were going to push back episode 9 back to like holiday time, I'm digging it. I'm digging that time of year.
Me too.
everything feels different in December, and people getting big time off from work, and you tend to see family, and it's really cool how Star Wars has sort of nestled into that tradition for the past couple of years for me. So I tend to see it opening night, and my brother can never make it because he works very, very early. And so I see it opening night, then I see it with my brother that weekend, and then when my parents come out to visit, we both see it with them. That's just become our little Star Wars tradition. So I look forward to that.
It's
Solo,
true,
I don't know what I'm going to do.
It's everything's wrong. Everything's screwed up. Nothing makes sense anymore, Brian.
Yeah.
And that's a good place to leave this discussion.
Yeah.
With nothing making sense. It's like a cliffhanger. It's like the end of The Empire Strikes Back.
So we'll see how it resolves next week.
Figure out next time if things get resolved. Now, we will be back next time to talk about Thor. I was going to say The Dark World, but this is not 2013. Thor Ragnarok. And I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, I mean, kind of what I said about the Marvel thing. I'm like, all right, let's do this, and I'm glad that it looks a little different, and I'm hoping that the story's awesome, and that we are enthused when we come back.
Well, here's hoping.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, as we wrap things up, Brian, what do you want to hype up to our listeners?
Well, I work for a show called Puppy Dog Pals, which is an animated show for young children on Disney Channel and Disney Junior, and it's a fun little show, and I recommend it to anyone who has kids or who loves puppy dogs going on adventures. So check it out.
There we go. And as for me, you can find me at my website, ZackisCorner.com. That's ZAKIS Corner. That's also my Twitter and my Instagram. You can also find me at the Huffington Post, where my movie reviews go up regularly, as does this show, as does the Nostalgia Theater show. Got a fun Nostalgia Theater episode coming up in just a little bit, which I'm looking forward to telling you about next time. And also, as I mentioned in the episode, listen to Discovery Debrief, where every week, so that's like my most frequent podcast right now is the Star Trek one. But every week our panel talks about the latest episode of the show, and it's a show that I'm enjoying. So I hope it's a podcast, I should say, that I'm enjoying, and I hope you will enjoy listening to it. As I say each and every episode, please go to iTunes and leave a review. Leave a star rating. Every little bit helps, and we appreciate all the feedback you can give us. You can also hit like on our Facebook page at facebook.com/moviefilmpodcast and email us at moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com. And that wraps up this episode. But on behalf of my colleague Brian Hall, my name is Zach Hassan. We will be back very soon to talk about Thor Ragnarok on the next Movie Film Podcast. Thanks, everybody.
Kablamo.
Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast. Movie Film Podcast, enjoy the show. Zachy and Brian are talking about movies. Movie Film Podcast on the radio.